I still remember the text like it happened yesterday. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter while I was chopping vegetables, the scent of garlic filling the air. Her words were casual, almost playful. Don't get your hopes up. We agreed intimacy would be once every 3 months, remember? My hands froze. I stared at the screen, my chest tightening, trying to understand if I'd read it wrong. Once every 3 months? That wasn't a joke. It was a calendar of distance, a slow, quiet erosion of connection that I hadn't fully acknowledged before. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I'd been too busy, too distracted by work, too absorbed in my own world to notice the growing space between us. I rationalized, she's stressed, she's tired, it's temporary. But then came the offhand comment from her single friend, Jenna, during one of those harmless brunches we forced ourselves to attend. You're lucky, honestly. I could never do a relationship with that much control, she said, laughing as if it was nothing. My stomach dropped. Control? That casual word, that laugh, it struck like ice. After that day, I couldn't stop noticing the signs. Missed calls she didn't hear. Texts that appeared and disappeared from her phone when she leaned over my shoulder. A faint perfume scent that wasn't hers. I started checking my instincts against reality, questioning myself first. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe I'm imagining things. But the unease only grew, gnawing at the edges of my sanity. Then came a night that destroyed the last of my denial. I'd stayed late at the office and came home to an empty apartment. Her shoes were gone, and a note on the counter read, "Out with friends. Be back late. Don't wait up." Nothing suspicious on the surface. But when I picked up her phone, she left it unlocked by accident. I froze. There it was, a thread with Jenna. Casual at first, talking about work, life, and brunches. But the tone shifted. Texts about men she'd met. Laughter at something I wasn't part of. Jokes that weren't meant for me. A single line made my chest tighten. Almost impossible to breathe. He doesn't need to know. It's our little secret. I couldn't process it. My mind spun through memories that now felt like illusions. The nights she said she had headaches. The mornings she forgot plans we'd made. Every hug, every kiss, every whispered, "I love you." Suddenly, I wondered if they'd been rehearsed, convenient, or deliberate. The intimacy we had, the moments I cherished, they felt like fragments of a lie I'd been living in willingly. I confronted her the next morning. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't dramatic. I just spoke, quiet and raw, letting the weight of months of suspicion spill into words. Why? I asked, why keep me at arm's length? Why all the secrets? She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. There was guilt, yes, but also something defensive, almost entitled. It wasn't like that, she said, but I could hear the tremor in her voice, the cracks she tried to hide. I needed space. It wasn't fair to you or me. Space. I repeated, voice low, trembling. You call hiding things, laughing at me behind my back, space? I could see her flinch. For a moment, I wondered if there was anything left to salvage. The confrontation didn't end with answers, just fragments of truth. She admitted to emotional infidelity, a growing attachment outside our marriage that started as a joke, a distraction, and somehow became a habit. She cried. I held the phone that revealed everything like it was a weapon and felt every ounce of my love and betrayal collide in my chest. The days after were unbearable. I walked through the apartment and saw her things, heard her laugh in my memory, smelled her perfume lingering in corners. I couldn't reconcile the woman I loved with the woman who had treated me as a convenience. My heart ached, but beneath it all, a cold clarity settled in. I had to reclaim myself. I had to walk away with my dignity intact, even if it meant leaving behind a life I'd imagined forever. I packed my things quietly, leaving a note. I loved you. I hope you find the honesty we couldn't share. Goodbye. There was no final argument, no dramatic scene. Just a door closing on a chapter one would never rewrite. Months later, I still feel the sting when I remember the small betrayals, the jokes, the seemingly harmless lies. But with the sting comes strength. I learned to trust my instincts, to recognize when love is genuine and when it's performative. The betrayal didn't break me. It taught me to honor myself, to demand truth, and to never settle for less than I deserve. Even now, when I see couples laughing in the streets, I feel a pang of longing, but I also feel peace. I survived. I walked away. And in the quiet aftermath of heartbreak, I discovered resilience I never knew I had.